everybody, welcome back to another random toy review. I treated myself to this bad boy a while ago. This is The Mandalorian from the Star Wars TV Disney Plus show The Mandalorian, but specifically I kind of held out for this because there was a Mandalorian figure released earlier this year to the Black Series 6-inch scale, which I don't collect, but every now and again I'll buy a Star Wars figure in this range if I like it. And I saw that it was out, and The Mandalorian was out based on the Mando, as he was in the opening 2 episodes, in his brown, like, dusty, sodded, buggered up, crappy costume. And I got word that they were doing a version of his Beskar armour, the armour he spends the majority of the series in, after they melt down the Beskar and they create the new armour, which is shown off here. His body is shielded by Beskar armour, his face is hidden behind a T-visored mask, and his past is wrapped in mystery. No one is quite sure who this well-equipped stranger is. I put pre-order in for this bad boy on Amazon. He was to be released on the 1st of August. And then on the 1st of August I got a note of dispatch, and then within 2 hours I got a note saying order unavailable, and then it sort of disappeared. The only way I was able to access it was to go on Amazon and go into my open orders and have a peek in there. I tried to inquire with the people who sold it. I checked on other websites to see if it was available elsewhere. My usual go-to, Kapow Toys, were sold out, but hadn't dispatched any yet. So I just assumed it was a stock error. Nothing. For months. The occasional glimpse on Instagram of someone in the States finding one in the wild in Walmart or Target or whatever. And then, the end of September, boom, this just gets posted to my door. So I guess there must have been a stock issue and they just hadn't chased everybody up to tell them that was happening. For starters, I just wanted to focus a little on the packaging, because the Black Series has always either been in a chunky rectangular box with blue decal, or the later black with red lining. They've now changed it a bit. It's a little bit more Marvel Legends-y, that kind of like, Transformers style, stylized shape to the box. There's a window up top. There's a wraparound window at the front. Each thing is color-coded. So the Mandalorian figures have an orange color coding. It's a slanted design on the side now, depicting the character. So on shelves, if they're stacked sideways, they'll be like this, and they'll have like a nice kind of depth of field because the picture bends inwards toward the front of the box. And since I've had the child figure, Baby Yoda, since earlier this year, I think it's time we finally introduced him to his guardian. Let's introduce Bounty to Bounty Hunter. Mando, have you always been alone? Look at him. He looks pretty good, actually. This is the Beskar armor Mandalorian. As an immediate display piece, this Black Series 6-inch figure is pretty swish. He looks good. He can cock his gun, which is sort of the standard pose. He comes with a very handy wrist articulation on the right hand, so he can cock his weapon, giggity, and a more kind of curled-in wrist articulation on the left hand, so he can hold the barrel of a weapon. He has articulation on his ankles with a pivot and joint. No hidden calf or ankle joints. Double in the knees, a cheeky swivel at the thigh, and then ball socket for the crotch. He does not have waist articulation, but he does have an ab crunch, much like a Marvel kind of rib crunch, like his upper half. The Black Series figures tend to be more like this. His upper half has a crunch of its own. Sorry, the camera got knocked there by a special guest. You'll see them in a second. Ball socket joint at the top of the shoulders. Does he have a pivot in his shoulder? He does not, so kind of standard for the Black Series. One sort of socket joint there. He's unique to previous Mandalorians, unless other Mandalorian characters have had this since the 2 I've purchased. But he has an articulated neck, and then the ball socket head. So he can, turn his head and tilt his head, but he can also get quite a decent lean. So he can have him proper looking up, he can have him proper looking down. He's got a nice range there, really. It's impressive. He also strikes a mean pose, looking like a little intergalactic badass. Let's see how he compares next to the other 2 live-action Mandos. There's Boba, of course, the coolest looking and most useless bounty hunter in all the galaxy. And Django! Look at him. Mando is slightly smaller in scale to these guys, especially the helmet. His helmet appears tiny compared to theirs. like really small. And I must admit, when I first looked at the figure in box, I was thinking, his head looks a little off, especially when you consider that, like, Django comes with a Tamora Morrison head underneath, so that's as big enough as the helmet should be to fit over his head. Boba's is a similar size. Mando, tiny in comparison, so that's kind of odd, but, who am I to judge? He comes with a couple of accessories. He comes with his rifle. Get back there, boys. He comes with his pistol, which I'm not taking out of the hand because it's okay just to wrangle in, because he's got very stiff hands, so be careful with your accessories, which does fit in the holster, which unpops. He has this cape, which is sculpted, so it looks nice just hanging on him, but kind of affects the two other accessories that come with him. You see, he also comes with his big-ass bloody gun, the one that, like, annihilates things within seconds, which is a nice piece, a little soft, so I'm not worried about breaking it, and that's a bit of a nightmare to get his hands around. But also he comes with, from the spoiler alert for The Mandalorian towards the end of the series, the jetpack. The jetpack is an option, much like it is with the other two boys. They have their jetpacks. But the difference is Boba's jetpack is uninterrupted by his cloth material cape. Django doesn't have that issue at all because he doesn't have a cape. Mando's cape is sculpted. So if you want to get the jetpack on him, you have to kind of wrangle it around and click it into the holes, one of which is sort of tucked beneath that, which is a bit annoying, but you can move it up and down his shoulder to make room. Which of course means his cape's going to look like that. Or that. Or like over here somewhere. Which just looks weird. I've seen some people taking it off the figure, but I don't want to risk popping his head off. So I'm very unlikely to ever display him with the jetpack. The jetpack holes as well are the right shape. You can see there's the peg for them. It's a little rectangular peg. They're the right shape for this attachment on his rifle. There's a similar one there. So theoretically, you could kill all your Mandalorians in one go. Or, theoretically, you can, I'm leaving that in, theoretically you can put that in there, but I don't want to apply too much pressure because I don't want to snap the gun. It doesn't rest well in there. The moment the cape moves for whatever reason, like there it's kind of cool, but the moment that cape moves for whatever reason, the gun pops out. So, that's risky. And also, it's not been made to go in there because, as you can see from this, there's slight teeth on the edge, so it clicks in place. This doesn't have the slight teeth. And in fact, me putting it in has chipped the paint away on this side. So that's annoying. I'm probably going to display him like this, because he looks pretty badass enough as it is, like that. But he is missing someone. I have one other figure in the Mandalorian franchise from the Black Series, and it doesn't feel right to have the Mando and not have his bounty by his side. What do I think of the Mandalorian figure? I think it's pretty good, the Beskar armor one. I wouldn't say there's any particular reason really other than just your preference of design to get this one over the standard Mandalorian based on how he looks in the first two episodes. That one is a lot more readily available than this one currently. It's just cool to have him, and it's cool to be able to put, oh, gone to his dick, Django there, and Boba there without them all falling, and have a trio of on-screen Mandalorians. If you enjoyed my review, if you'd like to help fund future reviews, please head down to my Amazon wishlist link in the description. There you'll see which figures I would like to buy. If you are generous enough as to purchase them, they will be reviewed. You will get a shout out. Of course, you don't have to buy me anything. I review stuff that I buy myself. So don't worry about a ting. But if there's something there where you're like, oh, I'd like to see his take on that, oh, go on, I'll buy it for him, then I'll be very grateful. But if not, just like, subscribe, share, and do your thing. Make my body sing. Do your thing. Boom, 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 and a bang, bang, bang. Much love to you all, and I'll see you again soon.